I request them all to kindly take their seat. Finally, our most earnest and dignified reception to all the scholars, researchers, and participants present here today. Thank you once again. Our deepest gratitude to you all for being here. Thank you. And now I hand over the mic to my students. They are going to host this national seminar.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for setting up the context. We are indeed privileged to take it forward.
I am Ashutosh,
I'm Tara Priya,
and we will be your host throughout this intellectual journey.
दीपक का परिचय उसका प्रकाश देता है, ठीक उसी प्रकार आप अपने कर्मों द्वारा अपना परिचय दें। निरंतर चलते रहो, दूसरों को रोशनी देते रहो, ज्ञान का मार्ग प्रशस्त करो।
The lighting of the lamp marks the positive beginning of any auspicious occasion. It serves as a sacred medium to invoke the divine grace, while the flame symbolizes purity, thereby dispelling to darkness and illuminating the mind with wisdom and clarity.
I now would like to request all our dignitaries for lighting up the ceremonial lamp. Thank you, everybody. Now please be seated. Now, we would request our legal luminaries to adorn the chair. Our chief guest, Professor Dr. Kamaljeet Singh, patron, Professor Dr. Binayak Patnaik, guest of honor, Professor Dr. Banerjee Chekka, and Dr. Soumitra Kumar Chatterjee, and our convener, Mr. Manoj Kumar Jena Samant. Sir, kindly adorn the chair.
अभी चलने वाला हुआ ना कटार आउट टाइम कर रहा है तो 8 से बैठ गए हम लोग
Thereafter we will request you to forward. Sir, it is our pleasure.
हेलो audio is not there. Okay, it will come to you. It will come to you. Hello. Online.
As a symbol of honor and welcome, I request our friends to present the bouquet to our esteemed guests.
গুগল মিট অন করছে না। ম্যাডাম হ্যাঁ क्या प्रॉब्लम है वो बहुत कौन कौन right hey hey oi
Dear audience, we are so delighted to welcome our guest of honor, Dr. Soumitra Kumar Chatterjee. Dr. Banerjee Cheka.
विनोद भाई ऑन करो
May I request our friends to offer bouquet to Banerjee Checker sir. The link is not open for you. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Legal expertise.
हाँ सर
Hello. Hello. अलग ही है व्हाट्सएप मोबाइल पे बता नहीं मोबाइल पे बस हेलो 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 हेलो
Hey.
Now, may I request the august gathering to please stand up at their respective places as we begin the national song followed with the national anthem.
सुजला सुफला मलयज शीतला सस्य श्यामला मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् शुभ्रज्योत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनी फुल्लकुसुमित द्रुमदलशोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुरभाषिणी सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाये तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे
भारत माता की जय भारत माता की जय वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम
Thank you all. Now I request the august gathering kindly to be seated.
तुम्हारा हर तकलीफों का मैं एक मुकम्मल जवाब हूँ। कभी वक्त मिले तो मुझे पढ़ना, मैं भारत का संविधान हूँ।
और जब इस संविधान का रखवाला हमारी जुडिशियल अकाउंटेबल होती है, तभी जनता का विश्वास और लोकतंत्र दोनों ही मजबूत होते हैं।
A very emphatic morning to our honorable dignitaries on chair, esteemed guests, our faculty members, scholarly delegates, and participants from across the nation. Today, we feel so privileged. It's a matter of happiness, and it is our absolute pleasure to welcome you all to this 2 days national seminar on the theme Judicial Accountability, Strengthening Public Trust in Judicial System, hosted by Ganjam Law College, Berhampur, Odisha.
Ladies and gentlemen, it fills my heart with immense joy and great pleasure to have such dignified guests and participants amongst us today. We are indeed privileged to have you all on the special event of National Seminar. We are especially fortunate and honored to have with us Professor Dr. Kamaljit Singh as chief guest. Professor Dr. R. Venkat Rao as keynote speaker. Sir will be joining through online mode. Professor Dr. Banerjee Chakka as guest of honor. Dr. Soumitra Kumar Chatterjee as guest of honor.
Therefore, without any further ado, let us begin this journey of exploration and discovery and learning. Now, with due permission of our dignitaries, this 2 national seminar is declared as open. So, with a huge round of applause, let us commence this remarkable journey.
As we start the program, it's my humble request to all to please keep the phones in silent mode and maintain the decorum as we are going live on YouTube. Now, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce the conference chair. He is none other than Dr. Professor Binayak Patnaik. Professor Dr. Binayak Patnaik is currently serving as a director cum principal, Ganjam Law College, Berhampur. In his former career journey, he was the director of Sri Vaishnav Institute of Law, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya, Indore. He was also a senior faculty at Lingaraj Law College, Berhampur. He has been awarded with 2 PhDs, one in law and other in library science. Dr. Patnaik have authored many books, published many journals and articles. With humble submission, I'd like to request Dr. Binayak Patnaik to deliver the welcome address to this august gathering. Over to you, sir.
Hello. जय जगन्नाथ समस्तंकु मोर नमस्कार. Good morning to you all. On this very momentous and auspicious occasion, we are having in our midst our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Kamaljit Singh Ji, as the chief guest. We have amongst us Professor Dr. Banerjee Chakka as the guest of honor. We have among us Soumitra Kumar Chatterjee sir, the Chairman PG Council, as the guest of honor. We have our convener. Incidentally, unfortunately, the keynote speaker, Professor Dr. R. Venkat Rao, could not join. Anyway, we are thinking that he will join. Distinguished delegates from different colleges of the state and outside the state, the principals of the college, the secretary of our managing committee, the member of the managing committee. So on behalf of the organizing committee and Ganjam Law College, I extend my hearty thanks to all of you for joining the seminar and I cordially and heartily welcome you to this two-day national seminar on judicial accountability, strengthening public trust in the judicial system. So I cordially welcome you, sir, all the delegates, all the guests to this seminar. So before delivering anything else, I would congratulate you, and I also convey my warm greetings for your participation in this seminar. This seminar topic is very much discussed. Much water have already been flown in the deliberation and discussion of this topic. It is not unknown to you all. Judicial accountability and public trust. These things go together. If there is no judicial accountability, the public trust will be nowhere. Therefore, there is one of the Chief Justices, he is Kapadiaji said, the judicial accountability is the cornerstone of public trust. And at the same time, it is said by another Chief Justice, Ramana Sir, unless and until he ensure the judicial accountability, there will be no public trust and the democracy will be in a state of debacle. Therefore, it is quite well evident that judicial accountability is essential. But in my thought, I thought that this is a thing which is only a corrective measure which we are discussing today, that how judiciary will be accountable. Therefore, there is a saying, nowadays, in every sphere of social hierarchy, we find some kind of misconduct, some kind of corruption. Unfortunately, incidentally, it has also entered into the field of judiciary, and the instances are not less. There are many instances where judicial officers are also accountable for their corruption charges, for their misconduct. Therefore, there is a saying, it is saying by Friedman. Justice Friedman says, judiciary is not infallible. Judiciary is fallible. Judiciary does wrong. Definitely judiciary does wrong. Then why we discuss here? Judiciary is wrong because judiciary is wrong. But since he is final, judiciary is final, so we have to accept it. But still, he is not without wrong. And because of that, we are discussing today how to correct that wrong under this particular title, that judicial accountability. And as I told you already, that public trust is essential, because unless there is public trust, the legitimacy of the judiciary will crumble down. That means it's that's why it is necessary that judiciary must. Now, to start with how the judiciary is accountable, to whom it is accountable. Judiciary is accountable to everyone, starting from public to the constitution, to the parliament, to the president, to everyone. Because, and primarily the public. Now, it was not there earlier, but nowadays, judiciary is becoming under the scrutiny of the public. Because whatever actions the judiciary does, the public always scrutinize that. And in recent cases, you have known the firecracker case, and the this firecracker and that stray dog case. In both the cases, there was hue and cry from the side of the public, and judiciary has to, you know, that stray dog case as well as this firecracker case. So ultimately, the stray dogs were left in the street, but with sterilization, and the firecrackers were allowed, but not allowed, but green firecrackers were allowed. So judiciary is also doing something which the public is only correcting. And the only path, the only way, the only channel through which public can ventilate the problems is the media. And it is on the basis of the media report, judiciary takes into cognizance what is the public opinion and accordingly corrects itself. And finally, one thing is very important, justice for all. This is also a very important concept, that how justice can be given to all. There are only 147 crores of people, and everyone wants that his or her right should be fulfilled. So what is the way and how it can be done? Therefore, we have also developed the public interest litigation And the origin of public interest litigation, all of you know, is Article 32. And any one of the public has access to the judiciary through public interest litigation. So this is a remarkable step which is enshrined in our constitution, and opportunity is given to the public to say their problems so that the judiciary can take into account and solve the problem. So this is a very important thing which we have introduced in our constitution. Besides this, we have got several facets: judicial activism versus judicial restraint, media, role of technology, and alternate dispute resolution systems. So all these things go to say that all these things are necessary in so far as judicial accountability is concerned. And the first thing is how judiciary delivers justice. It is not simply that judiciary only explains the law. When there is a gap, when there is no law in the country, when there is a problem, so how to solve the law? There is a saying, if there is no medicine, a person goes to the doctor will say, I have no medicine, there is no medicine, so I will not treat you. The doctor will never say, he will treat you even though there is no medicine. Similarly, whenever a case goes before the court will not say that I will not deal with the case. It will deal with the case. If there is no law, it invokes its jurisdiction. It invokes its jurisdiction and solves the problem. And that is judicial activism. It plays a proactive role. If it is only that it is a necessity. It is sometimes we say it is a terrorism, it is accessing the court. No, judicial activism is a necessity, and it has to be done. And we have also kept in our seminar as one of the topics judicial activism. And all of you know, judiciary besides this also tries to see that everything is disciplined. And one of the very important features in constitution is judicial review. And by that, the Supreme Court has got the authority to control the decisions of the Parliament as well as executive. By that, whatever problems we have, either with the legislature or with the executive, we all are experienced how the executive is also problematic. So where to go? So ultimately, the judiciary is the place where you can go, and judiciary has the power to correct both the wings, the Parliament as well as the executive. Therefore, this is a very important thing, that judiciary is definitely playing a role, but sometimes whatever problems we have, that we have to correct it, and there are laws also to correct the judiciary. One of the laws is very important, it is in practice, that is Judges Inquiry Act. Judges Inquiry Act, which was introduced, and by that the judges, whatever misconduct they have, or any corruption charges, that will be definitely investigated into, their conduct will be investigated into, and if necessary, they will be under impeachment also. All of you know the impeachment is also done. It is placed before by the Judicial Judges Inquiry Committee before the Parliament, and the Parliament, after the President approves it, the judges are removed. But till now, nobody is removed perhaps, but before removal, they take retirement. If there is corruption charge, it goes and impeachment proceedings started. Means before the action taken. So anyway, all these things are there in the judiciary. So how judiciary can best deliver the justice, that is a problem. So various methods we have included in our seminar. The 2 days national seminar will discuss what is accountability, how judicial accountability is the main thing, is the main important thing. It is the cornerstone of public trust. So how judiciary will be accountable so that the public trust can be retained. So all these things, after that I will tell you only one thing, which is that judiciary alone cannot do. Public trust or public faith in judiciary is more important. Public is also accountable to the ensuring the law and order, for ensuring justice system. With one quote, I will say that every public is also Supreme Court. Every public is a Supreme Court, because his conscience is the arbitrator, his conscience is the judge. If the public is also reasonable, I am sure that there will be no pending of the cases in judiciary, because from the right from beginning at the grassroots level, there will be no misconduct, no corruption, anything. Therefore, judiciary will be relaxed. So it is a movement. Then only we can have a very strong, proactive judiciary, a world-class judiciary in the world. Therefore, both judiciary as well as public should be accountable if at all we want to build a strong judicial system in our country. So last but not the least, I always say that conscience is the great arbitrator, and conscience is the soul of everything. Whether there is judicial accountability, all these terms which are just narrating, judicial account is there, but judiciary is responsible for everything. Above all, if a judiciary is conscious and conscientious, I am sure it will deliver justice, whether there is the norm or whether there is law or any regulation to control the judiciary. No control is necessary. That this conscientiousness is very important, not only for judiciary, for all of us. I hope you will enjoy this seminar, the 2-day national seminar, where all these things will be discussed, and I am sure you will definitely get it will be meaningful discussion, and you will reap the harvest of your labor by participating in this. I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for beautiful insights, and your words have set the perfect tone for the opening of this seminar. And now it's time to introduce to all of you our guest of honor, Professor Dr. Banerjee Chekka. And I would request my senior, Mrs. Sujata Patro, to introduce him. Over to you.
Thank you, Tara Priya. It is truly an honor and privilege to introduce Professor Dr. Banerjee Chekka, the Professor of Law and Dean at VIT Andhra Pradesh School of Law since 2020. His specializations are in international law, human rights, and technology law. He was a former British Chevening Fellow, SOAS London, and a Hague academic scholar. He has extensive experience in academic leadership, including roles at Alliance University and National Law University, Assam. Dr. Chekka has published work on topics such as autonomous weapon systems, drone attacks, and non-state actors in armed conflicts, reflects his expertise in aviation or space law. It is indeed an honor to welcome Professor Dr. Banerjee Chekka to the podium to enlighten us with their knowledge and experience. Please, sir.
Thank you very much, and a very warm good morning to all of you. And I am greatly honored to be invited here in the midst of you and to participate this one of the wonderful seminars, that is judicial accountability, strengthening public trust in the judicial system. The title itself shows very clearly that we are in the brink of losing public trust in the judicial system. That is why we are supposed to be now discussing here. And what are the issues, what are the aspects that we will discuss in the coming 2 days. And before that, I am going to speak about how do we create the public trust about the judiciary in the midst of today's technological advancement and changing geopolitical systems. So my topic is twofold, that is law, technology, and accountability of judges and judiciary, and how we can create public trust. And also the changing scenarios of the geopolitical systems. Since I'm a student of international law, I thought I will also bring that issue to all of you. So once again, I'm very grateful to Professor Vinayak Patnaik sir for inviting me, the director and principal of this Ganjam Law College, which is very oldest law college in the country, and which has created a lot of stalwarts and people from this college. And I always have a great respect for this particular college, because we could get to see many people in the country in the legal discipline. And I'm also grateful to share the dais with the Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Dr. Kamaljit Singh sir, and this is the second time I am meeting sir in this August gathering and this particular dais at the Ganjam Law College. And I knew him, sir is doing wonderful things in Madhusudan University in the state of Orissa, and I am very happy to see him again. Thank you so much, sir. and giving me this opportunity to. And I'm also grateful to our co-panelists and also the guest of honors and the guest of honor, Dr. Soumitra Kumar sir, who is the chairman of the PG Council of the Madhusudan University, and I'm very grateful to share the dais with him, and also Professor Venkatrao sir, who is a very known person to all of us, and hopefully he will be joining in with us in maybe sometime later. However, let me take this discussion in maybe 5 to 6 minutes. Then we'll have some question and answers if at all you want. And how many of you, I don't know, are experiencing the 1 week AI summit in India? As all of you are going through the newspapers, and Delhi and New Delhi, which is hosting the International AI Summit, and very good to know that all of you are watching. And it's a very momentous occasion for India to host this large-scale summit and establishing India as one of the global superpowers in the technology domain, and hosting 193 country delegates and negotiating to regulate the disruptive technologies called artificial intelligence. And I'm really grateful to our administration and to hosting, and it is widely debated across the world. And the journey of this particular summit for the last 5 to 6 years is very prominent. If you look at that, the journey took place in Osaka last year in Japan. Prior to that, it was in Geneva, and everyone was looking towards India. And today, if you look at that, the ideas which was conveyed by the United Nations Secretary General are very apt to India's growth story. We all knew that India's GDP 7 to 8% is consistently comes from the export of our technological services by our friends, colleagues, siblings, and whoever contributing to our growth story. Today, we are taking that as an opportunity to create the new history, to bring a legal and regulatory mechanism providing to the entire world. So that growth story we should not forget on this particular occasion. And why are we worried about this disruptive technologies? That I will come back to you a little later after speaking. Then how the judiciary must be aware of what's happening. If you look at that, the entire legal fraternity, we are very naive and we are very slow to adopt the technological changes, particularly interfacing with the technology, and we are very slow, and we always think that technology is going to take away our jobs and our articulation and the so-called the supremacy of the judicial system. These are some of the what we call it as concerns, maybe doubts. We have the apprehensions, but can we not reimagine ourselves? Reimagination and inflection of ourselves is very important when technology like AI is dominating and commanding us to become the slaves of this particular technology. Let me tell you the one story, then I'll come back to that, why we need to be very cautious and careful with the technology also. One of our Supreme Court judges, sorry to say that with all the great respect to the very world famous institutions, but one of the Supreme Court retired judges who has written arbitral award in the Singapore Council of Arbitration in international award, and that arbitration was held between the two prominent companies, and the judgment was written not by himself but unfortunately on the ChatGPT. And it was immediately, today you cannot hide the truth. If some of you are, I know some of you are recording my voices and everything, and after I come back in 2 years or maybe 1 year, maybe next time, you can say that this is what you spoke, and you can cross-check. This is the kind of what we are saying. Even Professor Binay Patnaik sir also said that every individual is the Supreme Court. Today, we are in the midst of commanding the state, trying to protect our dignity, constitutional values and morality. When we are espousing on that constitutional morality, whether our judges are really translating the aspirations of the people and constitutional morality in building up the trust. The same Supreme Court judges have been lauded by and glorified by all over the world for the contribution which have made by the Indian Supreme Court for the upliftment of constitutional morality and judicial independence and judicial accountability among the third world countries. For example, if you look into that, the growth stories and stories of the South Africa after 1995, they have completely taken India's experiences, because by the time India has already 40 years have been traveled after independence and the colonial occupation, and they said there is no better country in the world to learn the good lessons and the contributions made by the Supreme Court and to the world's largest democracy, and with upholding the constitutional morality. So, but today, some of our well-known, renowned judges are misusing the technology, that we are losing the public trust and the accountability is diminishing. So that is what I would like to mention, the point which I wanted to make it. And let me go back to that. The yesterday what happened? There is a report adopted by the Niti Aayog in New Delhi, and this is what they're expecting. Today, we are in the midst of complete inflection of the AI, which is very disruptive technology. It is changing the lives of the people, reimagining the workforce, and reimagining the thinking process. And if we are not inflexing ourselves to align with that, we become the slaves of this technology. Rather, we should command by enhancing the skills of that particular technology. Using the technology is not a bad idea, but rather using the technology, we must grow and we must bring justice to the people and alleviate the poverty and build a gap between the societal inequalities which we have. When 1995, India has opened its doors for the liberalization process in the economic terms. India could never experience that one. India could lead another growth story, that is technological revolution, where India is going to be the dominant personality. Now India is establishing its position to realignments in the geopolitical system, whether it is protecting the democracy, the values of the morality and the digital sovereignty, and reshaping how we are going to compete and collaborate in the technology leadership, and for which the judiciary must contribute for its wisdom and knowledge for realigning. And also we have to see that we have to take the central role, the people in this particular transition. We are in the transition. If you look at that, most of us, we have the receptive capacities not more than few seconds, 30 seconds at the most. But the discipline of law requires a consistent practice of the wisdom by applying the state-of-the-art knowledge. Let me tell you, my dear friends, if all of you are glued to your screens and if you are not looking your head high, you are going to miss this opportunity to become the part of this important growth story. And why the people have to transition themselves? Because the disruptive technology like AI, artificial intelligence, will transform the roles of the people and the workflows and the skill requirement across the country. It is going to change. If you are not becoming the entrepreneurs, if you are not become the innovators, and if you are becoming the slaves of the service industry, you will be pushed out of from the market. When we are pushing out of from the market, that's what it is called as the challenges before us to that displacement of the people from the workforce. When we are displaced from the workforce, and how we are going to transition while redeployment of the talent, and how we are going to reskilling at the scale and building the workforce that can work alongside the intelligent system with the confidence and the judgment. Today, if you look at that, the new labor codes have come. When you look at the new labor codes, still we have to experience that particular new labor code, and the codes did not even say anything with regard to the new age generation of the workforce that is called gig workers. All of you know that. At the end of the day, if you are very tired to go back home and cook something to eat for yourself, you are going to order Zomato, Swiggy and everything. And millions of the people are today suffered by the lack of rest, demand of the industry, and also demand of the consumer. And earlier, the companies have put the scale that 20 minutes, if our products are not reaching, we are going to pay back your bills. But today, that particular time has reduced to, because people have lost the patience, and reduced to the 10 minutes. If the 10 minutes, if your order is not into your home, and you are going to get repaid, and you are enjoying your meal, companies are reaping the benefits, but who is going to suffer because of your anxiety? First thing, it is our friends and colleagues, those who are not reskilled themselves, end up becoming the gig workers and joining in the Zomato, Swiggy and delivery. They are facing the brunt of this technological development. Today, when our brethren are suffering, being a lawyers and law students, do we have any remedy for them to bring them into the workforce and define them as an industry and secure the basic social welfare legislation, what the country is doing and what the courts are doing, and they are conspicuously silenced in the context of that. That is exactly what the Niti Aayog is saying, that we have the youngest population in the country. If you are not reskilling and redevelopment and redeployment according to the strength and talent and the unique advantages what we have, we are going to miss that opportunity and we will be pushed and displaced out of this particular growth. And also, we need to have the foresight and the coordination, which is urgency. And we need to transformation which requires, we need to share the national effort, and industry must innovate. Intellectual property and the new delivery models how to be redesigned, and the laws have to be realigned with the new developments. And the last point which I would like to say, that today we have the digital trade and the digital currencies which are going to transform. We have that new age technology like large language models and AI driven blockchain technology, and this particular blockchain technology which impacting on the today digital currencies. And when these digital currencies are used effectively by the people, and there rises certain kinds of criminal activity. Today we do not have the mechanism to protect the people from the cyber fraud which is happening. That is another important mechanism. And the last point is that when it happens in the cross-border level, when multiple jurisdictions are there, how are we going to calibrate ourselves for the purpose of determining, for the purpose of bringing the best outcome? Today, we don't have the answer. Now, the last leg of argument comes into this particular paper is that today, that is its impact on democracy and the rule of law. And these disruptive technologies are seeping into the human lives. And your privacy, and you are being monitored by the state. The state is controlling all the algorithms, and through which they are profiling the people. They are observing what you are seeing, and they are curing what you are listening and what your public opinion is, which is the greatest danger to the democracy and democratic ideals, and also the constitutional morality. If we want to have that constitution which can protect the principles of rule of law, which is very important to protect the judiciary, and the judiciary must be independent in order to protect the public trust. And the Supreme Court has explained what is the public trust doctrine in the several cases, particularly in the cases relating to Sabrimala issues. And today, how far the Supreme Court is discharging their obligations for protecting the rights of the democratic rights of the individuals and increasing the confidence on the public and reposing the faith on the principles of law and the judiciary is a debatable question. So in the midst of these kind of challenges which I have narrated, and conducting this kind of exercises like talking about judicial accountability is very important. Most of the judges today, they are much worried about their post-retirement opportunities rather than discharging the justice while they are serving as a judges in the higher courts. If they are going to protect the interest of the people, they are thinking that tomorrow they may not get the post-retirement positions. Hence, they are compromising on the constitutional morality and constitutional values and undermining the judicial accountability. This we have been experiencing, and the judiciary, as Sir said, that it is not infallible, but we can question. And we have been tutored and we have been told that whatever the judiciary says that it is a final and ultimate, but I beg to differ that when being in academics, we have every right to critique on the outcomes given by the judges and its applicability in the contemporary stories and upholding the democracy, rule of law, and the constitutional morality. With this, I'll stop it here. Thank you so much for giving in your patient hearing. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for such an insightful. Now, I would request my senior, Mrs. Sujata Patro, to introduce the guest of honor, Soumitra Kumar Chatterjee.
Thank you, Ashutosh. It is indeed an honor to introduce our guest of honor, Dr. Chatterjee. Dr. Chatterjee is a prominent academic in administration and educator, currently serving as the chairman, PG Council, and controller of examination at MLU CTP OD. He serves as the Oshin of the University. Dean of the University, and is a member of the syndicate, the university's highest executive body. Also, he holds the rank of assistant professor within the teaching faculty at Madhusudan Law University. He has guided extensive LLM research papers, including a notable critical analysis of juvenile justice law in India in 2022. His specialization, his academic focus encompasses the criminal law, juvenile justice, and legal education reforms. We are truly lucky to have Sir. Please come. Sir.
Thank you. Respected chief guest of this occasion, Professor Dr. Kamaljeet Singh sir, guest of the honor, Professor Banerjee Chekka sir, the keynote speaker, Professor Venkat Rao sir, the convener, Manoj Kumar Jena Samanta sir, and the principal of this college, Ganjam Law College, Professor Dr. Vinayak Patek sir. Already on this particular topic, the judicial accountability and strengthening the public trust. Already Vinayak sir has told many things, and Banerjee sir has also delivered a lot of things in this regard. Just I will take your 5 minutes because it is already time for the technical session, and we have also to listen our honorable chief guest sir. So I have only noted down some points on this particular topic. So far as the accountability is concerned, responsible for your decisions or conduct and obligated to provide an explanation for them when asked is what accountability means. This is only means as accountability. So accountability therefore means simply accepting the responsibility for one's actions, decisions or behaviors and being answerable to a third party. The Honorable Supreme Court, in a case, particularly in a case, asserted that a single dishonest judge not only dishonors himself and disgraces his office, but jeopardizes the integrity of the entire judicial system. This brings us to think that why we do need accountability. It is well known that 3 promotions done by the judicial accountability. That is, first one is it promotes the rule of law by deterring conduct that might compromise judicial independence, integrity, and impartiality. Second one, it promotes public confidence in judges and judiciary. Third one, it promotes institutional responsibility by rendering the judicial responsive to the needs of the public. It serves as a separate branch of government. The process of judicial accountability facilitates transparency. It can best be achieved when one is accountable to law. But the existing system of judicial accountability is failed, for which corruption is increasing day by day. This lack of accountability was criticized by Pandit Nehru once. He said that judges of the Supreme Court sit on ivory towers far removed from ordinary men and know nothing about them. Judges are awarded the image of demigods. After all, judges are also humans capable of making mistakes and committing vices. So, what is the need for judicial accountability? Through the agency of courts, the judicial system deals with the administration of justice. Judges are the human beings who preside over the courts. They are not merely visible symbols of court, but they are actually representatives in flesh and blood. The manners in which judges discharge their duties determine the image of the courts as well as the credibility of judicial system. In India, since time immemorial, judges have been held in high esteem, but recently, due to some unpleasant instances, people are slowly losing faith in judiciary and are taking law into their hands. It is highly deplorable. Therefore, it is required to make judiciary accountable, as derogation of values in judiciary is unaffordable than in any other wing of the government, and judiciary has to act as a guardian of our constitution. Former Chief Justice of India, Honorable Mr. Justice S.K. Kapadia remarked, when we talk of ethics, the judges normally comment upon ethics among politicians, students, and professors and others. But I would say that for a judge too, ethics, not only constitutional morality, but even ethical morality should be the base. The well-known legal luminaries like former Honorable Chief Justice of India S. Venkatamaya, former Judge of Honorable Supreme Court D.A. Desai, and another former Judge of Honorable Supreme Court Chenappa Reddy have also expressed their views that if all the sections of the society are accountable for their actions, there is no reason why the judges should not be so. For proper implementation of this concept of judicial accountability, it is expected that the judges should follow a code of conduct which may be broadly called as ethics for judges. So, what are the ethical codes for judges? There are some points. I will not go in details. The only points are the judicial decision to be honest. Second point is no man can be a judge in his own case. Third point, administer justice in a proper way. Third, equal opportunity. Equal opportunity should be given by the court or by the judges to each and every person, poor, vulnerable, and also the higher class of the people. The maintenance of distance from relatives. The judges should keep distance or maintain distance from the relatives and at the same time from the media and to also they should not be too much participate in the public activities also. These are the minimum ethics. So far as to whom the judiciary is expected to be accountable, it is the most important thing. And so far as the accountability is concerned, the judiciary is first of all accountable to the constitution, to the law, before it is accountable to the public. Because they are the constitutional post and therefore they should be accountable as we are all accountable for our own acts. The judiciary also should be accountable because they are taking oaths by virtue of the section of articles of the constitution. Therefore, they are first of all accountable to the constitution and then to the law. And so far as the how judicial accountability can be achieved, in that particular point I have mentioned that developing a culture of independence, judicial independence, impartiality, and accountability among the judges is an important step towards ensuring the overall integrity of the judiciary. So far as the different steps by judiciary for increasing its accountability is concerned, there are various steps by which the accountability can be increased or enhanced. First one is a central information system. This system shows the details of the cases like next date, Roznama, and stages of those cases pending the course of in the course of law, which is also is going on nowadays. Second one, the complaints with affidavit. In the previous year, previously, the judiciary was entertaining the complaints without any affidavit, because but afterwards it was found that fake complaints were filed against the judges. Therefore, now the complaints with affidavits are only entertained. Third one is appeal. By way of appeal also, we can make the judiciary accountable, as the orders and judgments can be challenged before the higher judiciary. Therefore, the judgments and the orders of the lower judiciary are accountable to the higher judiciary. Then rescind orders. So far as the rescind orders are concerned, passing a rescind order is also a part of accountability. It is always expected that a judge should always pass a rescind order. That means passing a rescind order makes it clear that why a judge has come to a particular conclusion while passing that judgment. And by so far as the judicial accountability is concerned, there are some challenges also, because the judiciary is an autonomous body and judges' independence cannot be eliminated, because judicial independence is also at the same time is very much required. Regulating this judicial accountability presents the big obstacle, and it will be vulnerable to outside pressure if the judiciary is held to any kind of accountability to the executive or legislature. And finding a balance between judicial accountability and judicial independence, it is extremely challenging. And so far as the judicial accountability is concerned, nowadays it is very much discussed that there must be a judicial accountability, there must be judicial independence. But what are actually the flaws of judicial accountability? There are several flaws one, two, three. There are some points. First one is lack of enforceable standards. Second one is inadequate public engagements. Third one is access to information in judicial processes. Fourth flaw is protection from parliamentary accountability. Fifth flaw is resistance to judicial reform. Sixth one is judicial appointments through sealed envelopes. And the last one is roster system. So what can be done in our future and the roads ahead? Following different steps I have already noted down. The following steps to be taken to enhance the judicial accountability in India, and several reforms are essential, which are: first one is revive the Judicial Standard and Accountability Bill, which was introduced in the year 2010 but ultimately fell through. It is again to be revived so that judicial accountability will be revived. And second one, the enhanced public access to information through RTI. Third one is judicial performance appraisals. And fourth one is permanent disciplinary committee. There should be a permanent disciplinary committee against the judges. Fourth one is publish an annual report, because in all other institutions annual reports are being published, but in judiciary annual report it should also be there and it should be published so that everybody should know, everybody should be aware of the work of the court and work of the judges. Then brought under the scope of Lokpal, the judiciary just in Sweden, this is the judiciary is under the Lokpal, purview of the Lokpal. So if it will be within the purview of the Lokpal in India also, then it will be better and judicial accountability will be enhanced. Then training and development of the judges in each and every field, particularly the teachers and the other employees also. The official trainings are also there, and therefore in case of the judges, to minimize the accountability, there should be some training programs for the judges also from time to time. And the last one is the encourage public interest initiatives. So these are the main things. If this will be enhanced and this will be done, then the public will trust on the judiciary. Otherwise, the judiciary have day by day it will lose the confidence among the people and before the constitution and the law. To conclude, it may be only be said that the growing concerns related to delay, opacity, ethical lapses, and limited redress mechanisms have highlighted the need to strengthen the accountability frameworks without compromising judicial independence. Lack of judicial accountability reduces the credibility of the judiciary, whereas an accountable judicial institution can only lead to a stable political atmosphere as well as a far more efficient system of governance. However, it is also acknowledged that judicial accountability, if stressed too far, can seriously hamper judicial independence, and thus it is essential that we strike the right balance between the two, judicial independence and judicial accountability. Judicial accountability and judicial independence have to work hand in hand sympathetically to ensure that the real purpose for setting up the institution of judiciary is achieved. Then only the public will trust on the judiciary, otherwise not. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a thoughtful speech.
Respected chief guest, honorable dignitaries on the dais, esteemed speakers, and dear participants, I'm so glad again to introduce you all and to invite our dignitaries for the formal inauguration of the soft copy of Compendium of Abstracts of this 2 days national seminar on judicial accountability, strengthening public trust in the judicial system. Compendium of Abstracts. It contains 89 scholarly abstracts. It's 89 received from various universities and institutions across India, representing diverse academic perspectives. The contributions include research papers from faculties, research scholars, and students, reflecting multi-generational and multidisciplinary engagement with the theme of judicial accountability. The abstracts collectively address critical dimensions such as judicial activism and restraint, technology and transparency, media accountability, pendency of cases, comparative best practices, and future judicial reforms. This publication stands as a testament to the vibrant academic discourse fostered by Ganjam Law College and the commitment of scholars nationwide to strengthening public trust in the judicial system. Now, may I respectfully request our esteemed chief guest and distinguished dignitaries to kindly inaugurate the soft copy of Compendium of Abstracts. Please, sir. With a huge round of applause. Thank you very much, sir.
ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଥର ସେ
Now I would request Mrs. Sujata Patra to introduce our chief guest, Dr. Kamaljeet.
Thank you, Asutosh. It is indeed an honor to introduce Professor Dr. Kamaljeet Singh, the Vice Chancellor of Madhusudan Law University, Qatar, since 2021. With vast and extensive academic experience in the field of law, as well as roles involving in researches, and as of 2025 is actively leads initiative for legal education in Odisha. His primary focus on advancing legal education and training professionals. He has been involved in developing the infrastructure and curriculum for 5-year integrated BA LLB honors and 2 years LLM courses at the university. He has authored 6 books and published more than 50 articles in national and international research. It is my great privilege to welcome Professor Dr. Kamaljeet Singh to the podium to enlighten us from his wisdom.
Thank you very much. Before proceeding further, let me share with you, this is the third seminar being organized by Ganjam Law College after they affiliated with Madhusudan Law University. And I have opportunity to attend all the 3. This is the third one. My tribute to the principal who left with us as Mr. Saroj. When I enter inside this college today, third seminar, I personally feel his absence, and I was sharing with my colleague Dr. Chatterjee. We are attending this seminar in his absence. May God give peace to his departed soul. Friends, Mrs. Saroj is amidst us, Director Ganjam Law College and Principal Ganjam Law College, Professor Vinay, keynote speaker, Professor Venkatao in absentia, guest of honor, Professor Banerjee Chakku, guest of honor, Professor Chatterjee, Director, Seminar, Dr. Mukesh, who happens to be the HOD for a PG course also. Sitting in front of us, Principal Khurda Law College, Dr. Choda Rai. other faculty member from Ganjam Law College, participants and seminarians from other parts of India, students from Ganjam Law College, and students from other affiliated law colleges, ladies and gentlemen, I extend my thanks to all of you for being a part to this 2-day seminar being organized by the Ganjam Law College. And on my personal account, I extend my thanks to the management of this college, Ganjam Law College, and the organizer of this seminar for inviting us to share our views, particularly a topic which is a very, very relevant and in a news for the last 1 year onward. Friends, as my predecessor, all the 3 persons, they have deliberated upon too much on judicial accountability, how to create a public faith. I will share my experience. I will not be very on a legal side. When I was reading about, before attending the seminar, I came across 2-3 things and those touched to my heart. Now when Lord Rama was asked to proceed on 14 years of exile, at the behest of his second mother Kikeyi, and later on which was withdrawn by other persons also requesting him to come back, he keep in his mind that it is my swadharma to obey my father and elder. Most of the people, they requested him, even Bharata, who requested him that I will not occupy my position as a king until unless you be back. And later on, he with the shoes of the kadam, we call a kadam, he keep in front of him as a king. That gives us a one accept of a life, that we remember a Lord Rama, and we call him a Lord Purushottam Ram, that pran jaye par bachan na jaye. That means the judiciary or the judges of the present system or Indian system should also be follow the swadharma. That means their accountability toward the rule of law and constitution of India. Sir, Vinayak sir was a little bit mixing that the judiciary is accountable to people, but I differ on this point. Legislature, they are the elected body. Executive, they are public servant. They are sevak, public sevak, lok sevak. They are accountable to the people of the country. But judiciary is accountable to the rule of law and the constitution of India. Okay, since the parliamentarian, they are supposed to again go to the peoples for the re-election after 5 years. Same is the case with the executive. The executive is being to be work. Otherwise, there Professor Chatterjee was asking about the ACR. So the executive is having a ACR. So they have, if they are ACR, then they will be promoted. Otherwise, not. So whereas accountability is concerned, that sir was right that it should be come with a conscience. So they should behave like a Lord Rama, and they should be avoid by the swadharma. Second, which instance which came to my mind when I was studying about that, another example instance of a Ravana. Now Ravan was very intelligent person and he was known Brahmin, very wise person. But when he went to grab Sita, then he took the sannyasi as a sannyasi, meaning sadhu base. Now, the sadhu are not supposed to do the thing which the Ravana did in the desa of sadhus. So my submission is that Ravana had paid the things which he did in the guise of a sannyasi. So same is the judges had to choose the path of Rama or Ravana. So that depends upon them. If they choose the path of a Rama, then the Rama will be worshipped. There will be no sign of question for a judicial accountability. If they choose the path of a Ravana, then surely there will be a question mark, as Sir was talking about one instance of a Chief Justice. I think he happens to from this state, Justice Deepak Mishra. It was in a news where he picked up the whole of the around 244 pages. So that means Rama means glory and Ravana means destruction. So again, the boundaries are to be decided by the judges whether they prefer to act as a Rama or they prefer to act as Ravana in the guise of a sannyasi. Now judges we consider as God. Now it is them, it is up to them whether they prefer to remain as a God or they prefer to in the guise of a Ravana. So third instance, it's a very interesting instance. Friends, when the Mahabharata happened, after Ramayana, next was the Mahabharata. Then the Duryodhana, who won't allow a Pandava even 5 villages. When finally his end was very near, he was supposed to be died. He felt that now after my death, what would be the fate of my wife Bhanumati? Bhanumati was his wife. But when he was feeling all the things, he discussed that I still have a faith that there is a one gentleman who is known as Dharmaraj Yudhishthir. That Yudhishthir is there and there is no question of injustice to my wife Bhanumati. So we expect that our judiciary or judges shall act in a manner as Yudhishthira or the aura of Yudhishthira was there. And that gives that same is the position we gives to our judiciary, that we believe that our judges are also at the level of Yudhishthira and there is no question of injustice to anyone within the territory of India. Fourth instance, when I was a student, there was I studied Hindi also. Hindi was also a compulsory subject and Hindi contained 6 books. One Gadya Sankalan, Kavya Sankalan, Katha Sankalan, Kahani Sankalan. And in Kahani Sankalan, there was one Kahani that was a Panch Parmeshwara by Munshi Premchand. And in Panch Parmeshwara, there was 3 characters. One was Algu Chaudhary, Jammu Sheikh, and third was some Sahu. So I pretend that story happens to be in this part of India. And if the Sahu is there, Sahus are available in Odisha only or this part of India. You see the importance of that particular story. That the judge, although there was a dispute, Sahu sold out one ox to Algu Chaudhary, and Jammu Sheikh and Algu Chaudhary was very close friend. When the dispute referred for the final disposition of in the form of a panchayat, you might have studied in an arbitration also. Then even if they were a friend, but when he occupied the position as a panch, as a judge of a panchayat, he wanted to decide in the favor of his friend, and the decision was against the Jammu Sheikh passed a decision against his friend. So that should be the accountability of the judge. We cannot enforce the outer force to a judge to be a more accountable. Friends, sometimes there is a question that whether the judiciary should be accountable, sign of interrogation. I'm hopeful the seminarian will reply this question number 1. Then I pose a second question to the seminarian. To whom the judiciary should be accountable? One is whether the judiciary should be accountable. If they feel it is accountable, then to whom it should be accountable. Third, if it is accountable, then who should enforce that accountability on a judiciary? Legislature can't, executive can't. Now, again, the third question is, who is supposed to enforce? Sir was talking about a code, but there is no law. Sir was talking about a Judicial Inquiry Act 1968, but there is only system and a mechanism. But who will take action? It is only the Bechara subordinate judiciary, where the High Court can catch hold of the judges, having a full court meeting and pass a termination order or suspension order for session judge and all. But whereas the High Court and the Supreme Court is concerned, again the process as prescribed under Indian Constitution in the form of impeachment, and Professor Binayak was also talking about that impeachment is not easy when the latter is rooted through the politician. Politicians saw everything their political lens. During 2011 or 12, as I am remembering, there was a one judge, Justice Bhalla. He happens to be retired from Supreme Court, but initially in Uttar Pradesh, and then he was a Chief Justice in Himachal. At that time, there was a controversy that he was involved in something that is pertaining to ETF and all. And the group of the parliamentarians, they were interested to impeach him. But the impeachment process is such that it required that in case it is to be initiated through the Lok Sabha, 100 MP signature should be there. And in case it is routed through the Rajya Sabha, 50 parliamentary signature should be there. In case of a Bhalla, number could not reach 200, as claimed by Prasad Bhushan, that the BJP refused to sign it. Since Justice Bhalla was one of the judge in Babri Masjid case, where the Lal Kishan Advani and other persons, they were free from the charges, happens to be in a Babri Masjid case. So you mean the judge who pass a judgment, even if in accordance with the provision of a law, but the repercussion of that judgment is even at the larger scale, and the politicians, they look everything with their political lenses. I do believe that Prasad Bhushan might also be looking with the political lenses, so that he was also a member to the one of the political party. So my curiosity is that the third question which I posed to the seminarian, that who is to enforce the accountability, even if they are accountable. Friends, during last 6 months or 7 months, the former Vice President of India, who was very critical of the judiciary, he made a certain comment, and those comments even touched me. He passed a controversial statement. We consider it a controversial statement. Then the Vice President of India, Jagdeep Dhankar, he openly accused in one of the debate that judges function like a super parliament. Now, although this was his personal comment, but as a law student, I feel it that the parliament, the duty assigned to parliament is entirely different. But when it looks to the Supreme Court of India, then to provide a complete justice under Article 142, the Supreme Court can take charge and issue a direction. So, second comment which he put to the judiciary, the judiciary is not accountable to the law of the land. Now, this might be his personal comment. It again hurt me. how he came to conclusion that Indian judiciary is not accountable to the law of the land. Friends, I have almost completed a 60 year of my life. I have witnessed even a national emergency being imposed in 1975 during Mrs. Indira Gandhi regime. By that time, it is only the Indian judiciary which stand to the testimony of its reputation. The Indian judiciary dare to declare the election of a Prime Minister of India as a null and void. Indian judiciary dare to declare the National Judicial Appointment Act as null and void and unconstitutional. I don't think that the Indian judiciary has deviated from the role assigned to it. It is only the political lenses. When you start seeing every judgment being passed by the judges from the lenses of the politics, if the judgment is passed in Ayodhya, then definitely the judges have to pass a judgment. Every judgment is always only in favor of one party, either in the favor of petitioner or in the favor of defendant or respondent. So if it is against a one group, we consider it the judiciary is not accountable. Friends, judges, they are also a human being. There might be some instances of either and thither, but during the last 75 years, I personally feel that Indian judiciary is doing exceptionally good, except 4 or 5 cases which we are highlighting, and that might be the reason that our appointment system is flawed, faulty, our selection system is faulty, or end of the day, human being is very nasty. We all are human being, and it's very selfish. Even if you study the theory and social contract theory and all, you will find that we as a human being claim a right on each and everything. We claim a right on water, first right, not other beings. There are a lot of people. If sea is there, we claim that feces belongs to human being. So we are very nasty and very selfish. Human being is very nasty and very selfish. If my trust is not being protected, I will again point out a finger toward the judiciary. Friends, last thing which personally hurt, then although these questions which I have raised, I am hopeful that the seminarian will reply to all these. I have a lot of deliberation to make, but on account of it, this is a inaugural session, it should not unnecessarily extended. I will get 2-3 more minutes. This is the only organ which is always open to accountability. When you file a petition, it is being heard in public by the court. Magistrate or the judge will heard in open court, except there are a few instances where the proceedings are being heard in some of the cases in camera. Otherwise, every matter is being heard in public. Advocates are there, the litigants are there. Second, when they conduct the proceeding, it is always in open. When the judgment is to be passed, it is always in open. When the judgment is to be pronounced, it is always in open. And if you are not satisfied with the judgment, you have a right to go for appeal. Where is the question that the Indian judiciary is not, Indian judiciary is violating? It is buzzing to my mind. I request the seminarian, said, I feel these are concerned also to address value while you present your part of a paper, to address this question also. I feel the Indian judiciary is more accountable when everything is open. And if you're not satisfied, you go for appeal. High Court, Supreme Court. And if you're not satisfied, then after the judgment is uploaded, you can criticize it. You can write any article against the judge. So where is the question that Indian judiciary is not accountable and all? These are my observation. I hope that seminarian will reply to these small queries, which I feel are to be addressed during these 2 days. As a Vice Chancellor of Madhusudan Law University, once again I extend my thanks to the organizer, especially to Mrs. Saroj and the organizer of Ganjam Law College, that they keep on organizing a seminars year after year. Second, as a Vice Chancellor, I assure the management and the student of this Indian college that as and when they feel that we are helpful to them, they come to us, they can send their mail. I have already directed my PG council and my full authority that in case any requirement from any affiliated college, that is to be addressed at the highest level or immediately. Beside this, Madhusudan University is organizing one moot court competition in the month of March. We are asking every affiliate that that moot court competition is only for the affiliated colleges with Madhusudan University. This year we are organizing, just allow opportunity to all the students affiliated with the Madhusudan University with a direction to the principal and management to send at least one team, and hopefully it is on 25th, 26th of March. So I request the principal and the management to send a team from this college to Madhusudan Law University for a moot court, intra-college moot court competition. Second, on 14th of March, Madhusudan University is again organizing a one national seminar, and hopefully it is on children, and that might be the later. You will find the brochure very shortly. You attend that also. And another invitation to all of you during the month of March is on 21st or 22nd, another seminar on women also being organized by Department of Undergraduate BLLB. So I invite all of you to attend those also. Once again, thank you very much for inviting us, and my special thanks to all of you that you people dare to organize such academic activities year after year. God bless Ganjam Law College. God bless Madhusudan Law University. Thank you very much.
Therefore, my dear audience, once again, may I request to have a huge round of applause for our beloved BC. Sir, respected sir, your words have truly motivated us, ignited us, and broadened our understanding level of this topic. And the insights and the experiences that you have shared here will surely guide us and inspire us in every step and every future endeavors of our life. Sir, today this occasion would not have been complete without your presence. And I would also say nothing much we have with us, just the love and the affection, and looking forward to your guidance at every step. And this entire team, the organizing team, we as the participants, the delegates and the students and whosoever are here today and in hybrid mode, we extend our heartfelt thanks to our beloved BC, Professor Dr. Kamaljit Singh. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would request our principal and director, Professor Dr. Binayak Patnaik sir, to felicitate our chief guest, Kamaljit sir, and guest of honor, Dr. Banerjee Chakka sir, with the Uttariya and the memento.
Now, may I request our convener, Sri Manoj Kumar Janasambandha sir, to felicitate our guest of honor, Dr. Soumitra Chatterjee, by offering Uttariya and memento. Sir, please.
Now, I would request our chief guest, Professor Dr. Kamaljit Singh.
Now, may I request our convener Manoj Kumar Janasamanta sir to felicitate our guest of honor, Sri Banerjee Chakka sir, by offering Uttariya and memento.
உள்ள உள்ள
May I now request respectfully our VC, Professor Dr. Kamaljit Singh sir, to felicitate Mrs. Namita ma'am, who is the wife of our ex-principal, late Dr. Saroj Kumar Jena Samanta. And I would now request him to felicitate Mrs. Sarita Bhanja ma'am. She is the member of governing body. Thank you so much, everybody.
Now, I would like to request our convener, Sri Manoj Kumar Janasamanta sir, to extend the vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Thank you. Respected Chief Guest, sir. Respected judges, lawyers, and academicians and participants. I would like to extend my gratitude to our distinguished speakers and their experience and appreciate the restless effort of my organizing team, whose dedication made the event possible. Thank you, and thank you very much for your support, and I wish you all participants and delegates, wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, we'll be having a short tea break for 15 minutes. The tea is served in the corridor. Hence, I request everyone to join us sharp after 15 minutes and wish you all a happy tea time. Thank you.
It is exactly for 15 minutes. We request everyone to be right back at 12:45, please. Very good afternoon to all. Hello. A very good afternoon to all. I request everyone to kindly settle as we are going to start our first technical session very shortly.
Hello, hello. Audible?
I request everyone kindly settle down and join back in the seminar hall as we are going to start our first technical round shortly. Volunteers are requested kindly to cooperate. Requesting everyone to maintain a decorum as we are going live on YouTube. Please keep your phone in silent mode. Requesting everyone to join us back in the seminar hall, please, as we are going to start our first round of the technical session shortly.
Okay. May I have your attention? Now I will read the names of the students or the delegates who are going to participate in this seminar through offline mode. Kindly acknowledge us that you are present inside the hall. Mrs. Banazir Sarangi, are you present? She is not there. Mrs. Banazir Sarangi.
Wait for
Shravya Shri and Binod Kumar Nayak, already there. A. Rosa, are you there? A. Rosa? No. Devavrat Sahu? Okay. Durga Prasad Mishra? Okay, sir. Gitanjali Rath? Present. Kishore Kumar Sahu? Present. Purva Kumari? Purva Kumari? आ रही है आए हैं ना ओके रजत कुमार रथ okay I am myself present so this is all for the offline mode kindly confirm about Banazir Sarangi ma'am
I request
she is
everyone
already here okay thank you
to join us back on the seminar hall, please. We are going to start this first round of the technical seminar within next 1 minute.
Once again, I request each one of you, those who are going to present this seminar through offline mode, the sequence that I'll be reading right now, in this order, kindly get ready with your presentation. First, Mrs. Banazir Sarangi. Second is Shravya Shri and Vinod Kumar Nayak. Third is A. Roja. Fourth, Devavrat Sahu. Fifth, Durga Prasad Mishra. Sixth is Gitanjali Rath. Seventh, Kishore Kumar Sahu. Eighth, Purva Kumari. Ninth is Rajat Kumar Rath. And 10th is I myself. Now, all these online people who will be presenting this seminar. First comes Ashit Mahapatra and Professor Ganesh Sethi, Gauri Rama Mane, Niranjan Patro, Miss Prachi Bhuya, Dr. Kiran Kori, and last but not the least, Dr. Vivekanand Chotroy and Archita Maharana. Dr. Vivekanand Chotroy and Archita Maharana.
জুম করো।
I hope everyone is back on the seminar hall. Everyone to settle down quickly. I request everyone to maintain the decorum and keep the phones in silent mode as we are live streamed on YouTube.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you all have enjoyed a very short interval and a nice tea time. Welcome back after this short interval again. Since we proceed with our first technical session, we are genuinely delighted and honored to have with us our first session chair, Dr. Nidhi Chauhan, amongst us. So, dear audience, let me introduce Dr. Chauhan to you all. Dr. Nidhi Chauhan, Assistant Professor in Law at Madhusudan Law University, Cuttack, Odisha. Presently on deployment from Utkal University, Bhubaneswar, Odisha. She is the Director of Students' Welfare and Head of the Department BA-LLB course at Madhusudan Law University. Previously, she has also worked as an Assistant Professor in Law at School of Law, KIT University, Bhubaneswar. She has also joined erstwhile Madhusudan Law College as Assistant Professor in Law in 2016. She has been awarded with a degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Law from National Law University, Cuttack, Odisha. She has completed her Masters in Laws from National Law School of India University, Bangalore, and Bachelor of Laws and Faculty of Law, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. She has also cleared her UGC NET in 2012 June. She has several publications to her credit. Her area of specializations is business laws. With due respect and honor, I would request ma'am to kindly address this gathering. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your address and your beautiful insights. I now respectfully request our faculty member, Dr. Trilochan Lenka, sir, as the rapporteur. Please welcome him as the rapporteur of our first technical session. Over to you, sir.
I request all our participants,
Bosunodi.
please maintain the decorum of this national seminar. Since we all have congregated here, please settle down. Maintain discipline. Since our sir is already here, he will take it forward.
Hello.
বসো বসো
Respected session chair, Dr. Nidhi Madam, distinguished dignitaries, scholarly presenters, delegates, and dear students. Good afternoon to all of you. I welcome you in this technical session on role of technology and judicial accountability as a part of judicial accountability strengthening public trust in the judicial system. I request all the presenters kindly confine your deliverance within 5 minutes. And you are also requested only to focus on research questions, judicial methods, and your recommendations and suggestions. And don't read the full paper. And our session chair has already explained the rules of your presentation of your paper. So I am not repeating it. And now I would like to call upon the names. The first paper presenter is Mrs. With the permission of the session chair, we will start the paper presentation. The first presenter is Mrs. Banerjee Sarangi. The topic is the role of technology, ensuring and strengthening of judicial accountability. And she is not here. And I will call upon the second presenter as Sabhyasri and Vinod Kumar Nair. The topic is role of technology in enhancing judicial accountability.
dignitaries, and the respected present here. Myself, Shavyasri, I am today very honored to get this golden opportunity to stand before you and to present on the topic Judicial Accountability, Strengthening Public Trust in the Judicial System, while main focus is on role of technology in enhancing judicial accountability. First of all, we'll understand what is judicial accountability. Judicial accountability is the mechanisms, obligations, and processes which look after whether judges are performing their duties with fairly, in a just manner, and in a transparent manner, while maintaining judicial independence. Judicial accountability mainly balances two principles. First is judicial independence, and second is transparency and public trust. Then we come to the challenges faced by our Indian judiciary while maintaining judicial independence and judicial accountability. First of all, the main challenge of this is case backlogs in case management, then opening, then we have then lack of transparency in the judicial functioning, and there is also lack of people awareness about judicial accountability and more on. Two, to ensure these issues, our judiciary has brought out a remedy that is integrating judiciary with technology. This is the sole solution which our Indian judiciary adopted to enhance the judicial accountability. So, our Indian judiciary has enhanced the judicial accountability